over time, and I have received a great deal of criticism for it. Our office has received a great deal of criticism for it. The New Yorker magazine published an article on me yesterday in which I think I was called everything but it. I was called Darth Vader. I was accused of having a brain tumor. And I was accused of being mentally ill because I had the temerity to suggest that when you smother an 8-week-old infant to death and beat him about the head, you should die for that. Because that's the case they were interviewing me on. So I respect Mr. Stroud and anybody who opposes the death penalty, but I also understand the other side of it because I live in the other side of it. I think as you make a decision for district attorney, I would encourage you and the people you know and the people you have influence with to consider these things. And to consider that whomever you choose for that office be very experienced. Have tried many cases, have dealt with many fact situations. Dude has a tremendous history of experience coming out of New Orleans Parish. God, do you think we have cases? What they have is literally incredible. And Dude has tried many cases since he's been here. Consider experience when you consider your candidate for district attorney, because I really do believe, and you hear this a lot, but in this business there is no substitute for it. You do not get a second chance. You do not get to learn on the job because you're learning on the job with other people's lives. Now, those are the lessons that I can draw from the Glenn Ford case. I think I would be remiss if I did not comment on one other subject that I have seen evolve or degrade over the course of time, and that is we have an absolute epidemic of child victims in our community. I have gone from seeing no cases involving child abuse, not any, 1976, and now we carry 50 to 100 child abuse cases at any one time. And when I mean abuse, ladies and gentlemen, I mean abuse. I mean burning a baby alive in scalding water. I mean breaking every bone in a 6-month-old baby's body. I mean smothering them to death. I mean hitting them so hard that their brain swelled so much that their throat swallowed their brain because there was no place else for it to go. And we are seeing an epidemic of that in our community, and I believe that this epidemic, and I believe that the heinousness and savagery of the first-degree murder cases that I described to you earlier, I'm asked and was asked, well, isn't it the result of injustice? Isn't it the result of poverty? Isn't it a result of income inequality? Isn't it the result of lack of educational or employment opportunity? And I say no. Those are symptoms of it. The cause of it is the destruction of the nuclear family. I have prosecuted young men and young women as a career for 40 years. I have never, one time, never once prosecuted a young man or a young woman who came from a 2-parent home. Not once. You can call that coincidence if you want. I don't call it coincidence. I call it the root cause of what I believe is increasingly the destruction of our society. Because when young men and young women come from a two-parent home whose father has a job, they are more likely to be disciplined by their father. In the home, they are more likely to be taken to church. They are more likely to be educated and fed well and clothed well. They are more likely to make friends and learn how to make social solutions as opposed to violence. They are more likely to get and keep good jobs and have good families of their own, and they are less likely to commit crimes. Because they know if they steal something, like a bike, and their dad finds out about it, they'll never steal another bike again. And that's where you stop it. Everything else is a symptom of that. And this is just my opinion. I don't offer you any scientific study or empirical data or law review article. This is just what I've observed over 40 years of time in this community. And having said that, I'll have to say that even those situations are a small fraction of our community. Our community, by and large, is made up of two-parent families who do discipline their children, and that's why we don't have any more crime than we have. But I think it's also why this nature of the crime we have is more savage. When you don't have that underpinning of what I'll call moral persuasive authority. I learned a lot from John Richardson. I learned a lot from the lawyers who were in his office, Judge Charles Lindsay, Judge Fred Sexton, Judge C.J. Bolden. I learned a lot from the good lawyers in Paul Carmichael's office, Howard Fish, Laura Fulco, Suzanne Owen. I learned a lot from my colleague Lou Thompson and others that now work with us. The only thing I can say to you is, as a candidate for this office, that is all I can offer you, is that experience. And that will either be enough or it won't be enough. But you're not going to see me on TV. You're not going to see me send you a fundraiser, because there aren't going to be any fundraisers. I'm not asking for any money from anybody. And I don't want to owe anybody if I got elected to that position. And when you take money, you take what goes with it. So I ain't taking it.